Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So last time we started work on upgrading our shower to be recirculating so that we can enjoy long hot showers in the van anywhere we like without having to worry about carrying and emptying loads of water. We started off with all the extra plumbing that we needed and added some filters to help keep the water nice and clean. We went through it all in detail in our last video, so check that out if you want to see more about our design and how we put it all together whilst on the road.
We finished off by tweaking the plumbing under the van so that it can work both as a regular shower that we can use first to get clean, and then a recirculating one afterwards for a nice long rinse. Now it's time to do all the electrics and test it out to see if it works. We're Tim and Abby, and we converted our Ford Transit into a fully off-grid camper van. We're now enjoying life on the road, so join us for some adventures as we travel around the UK and beyond.
Right, so we're going to wire up the recirculating switch now, and this is what we've got for it. It's just a toggle switch, and that's the same as the one that we've got for our light in the shower. So they're both going to sit somewhere here on the wall, and the wire that we ran originally for our pump, we did it at the bottom of this cupboard somewhere, because we thought originally the pump was going to be on this side. So we just need to find that now so that we can wire it up to this. So it's these two. Just need to see where they are.
Right, here we go.
Okay.
That was actually really easy.
Oh, good. There we go. And what we've done to mount these switches is have this little custom panel made, which I think is pretty cool. So then, once this wall is finished, we'll mount it up here somewhere, and it'll, look pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
So then, over here, what we've got for our little alcove over here is this one, which is our custom switch panel for the whole van. And this was made by a company called Laser and Grain. And again, we've got this custom made, and we designed the whole thing. So that's gonna fit in there just like that. Have everything wired up to it, and yeah, look, should look pretty neat once that's all done.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Finally sort out all of this mess down here and actually be able to use everything when it's on the wall.
So yeah, that's been just sitting there for ages, just waiting for this. So yeah, I'm quite excited about doing this.
So yeah, all of this stuff down there pretty much needs to make its way up here and then into the side of that box.
Everything on the panel all wired up now, and I think it looks really neat.
Looks really cool.
So up here we've got our gas level, which we can just turn on and off, and we've got lots of gas, which is good. And then next to it we've got our battery monitor, so we can just cycle through that and it just shows us everything. And at the moment we're using 1.65 amps.
Not too bad.
And then we've got our water levels over here, so we've got one for the fresh and for the grey, and that's powered with a switch down here. So we're completely out of water at the moment, so we're going to need to top up that before we test our shower. And then we've got our max fan controller here, which is nice because we can just access it from the bed if we need to. This is a controller for our diesel heater, and that's the temperature sensor for it. And then we just got the rest of our switches down here. So this one's the toilet fan, which you can just hear is coming on down there in the vent seat. And then we've got other ones like the internet, the inverter, and the pumps for the cold and the hot water. So there we go. We hear the cold pump pressurising, and then the hot water.
Nice.
So yeah.
We were originally going to use the LED rocker switches, so these ones. That's what we've had in before, but Abby thought that these ones might actually look a bit nicer, and I agree. So yeah.
They just look a bit more rustic, and also those ones have a light on them, so we're just thinking if they're all lit up here, it might keep us awake at night time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. And the next thing to do is just to do the wiring for the recirculating bits. So that's the pump, the UV light, and the what's the last one? The ball valve underneath the van.
Cool. So all of this wiring we've done isn't actually for this project.
No, it's not, but it needed doing, so
yeah,
it's not tidier now.
Now that we've got this on the board as well, it's quite interesting to see how much power everything uses, because before I couldn't really keep track of it because this was just like hidden away. But now it's right there. You can see we're using 6 amps at the moment, and that's with the toilet fan on and a few other bits. If we turn that off, you can see the toilet fan actually uses basically nothing, whereas these level gauges actually use a little bit more. So yeah, that's why we've got a switch for them, because even though they're not distracting or anything, just having them on actually uses a little bit of power. So if we're somewhere where it's pretty miserable weather and we haven't been driving for a while, we might want to conserve every bit of power we can. So that's why we've got these switches. And also means for the cold and hot water pumps, we can turn them off when we're going out, so we don't have to worry about any water accidentally being pumped out throughout the whole van if there's a leak somewhere, which is pretty cool. And then we've also got one for the inverter as well, so that's just 2 wires we've put into the little switch bridge thing, the little green thing on the back of the Victron Phoenix, and that means we can actually turn it off, and that's quite handy because just being on, even if there's nothing plugged into the sockets, it uses a little bit of power, and it's actually non-negligible. So it's 2 amps at the moment with the inverter off. If I turn that on, see that goes right up to 2.8 amps. So it's about just under an amp or so of standby power basically. That's quite nice because it turns it off completely. So when I switch off the switch, it actually just completely even disappears from the app. So there's no power going to it at all, which is nice. Abby's trying to thread the 2 wires through a very small hole. He's decided the best way to do that is to be inside the bench seat. So windy out here right now. It's ridiculous. Right, I think we're finally ready to do the test and see if it all actually works. So all of the wiring and the plumbing is done, and it's turned out pretty neat actually. So this is our cold line, so that's the one we already had before, and this is the recirculating pump which we've added in. So it's going through the spin down filter there and up here, and then just close that. Obviously comes up to the UV light, and then to power the light it needs a power source obviously, and for that it has a little ballast. So that's just a little electronic box that sits on there and then goes into the top, and it did come with a 230 volt AC ballast, but we ditched that one because we want to run it off 12 volts. So we've got a another one which is just a 12 volt one of that, and then we just need to connect up a bulb to that in a second, And then to actually power everything, what we've got is the switch on the shower wall there, turns on this little mini fuse hub. So we put that in just because we thought it'd be a nice convenient place to keep all of the separate fuses we need for the light, the ball valve and the pump all in one convenient spot. There we go. So just got a 3 amp fuse for that one. Then a 7.5 amp fuse for the pump. And then just another small fuse for the ball valve. So we just disconnect this one. And then that can just come out. These have a lifetime of about, I think it's 800 hours or something like that. So because we're not going to be using it all the time, because we've got the switch, it's only going to be on when we're using the shower, it should actually last quite a long time. Right, there we go. And these bulbs are quite fragile, and got to be careful with them as well, because the way these bulbs work is they use quite high voltage to turn them on, and then they give off UVC light, which is obviously what is going to be killing all of the harmful microorganisms. So that bulb essentially is going to sit in there, and then as the light is on, the water just flows all around the bulb, and then yeah, the UVC light in here kills off all the microorganisms. So that's like bacteria, viruses and all the other nasty stuff. But obviously it would also be damaging to humans as well, so you don't want to get it shining over your skin or in your eyes, because that would be pretty bad. So yeah, you've got to be careful when you're holding this and using it. Right, so if we connect it up to this one first, so that just clips in there. Okay, I think that's pretty connected. Just take that out there and just carefully put it in there, and then the little cover just goes on the top. There you go.
Oh, so it doesn't screw on or anything?
No, that should be it. There we go, it clips in. And then just got to turn that around and connect it up. Just make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. Right, so all the filters are in, everything is wired, everything is plumbed. Let's see if it works. So the first thing we've got to do is fill up our shower tank. I'm just going to take this off as well so we can see what's happening. Right, so yeah, we'll just turn this on as well. And it's completely empty, so let's just turn on that. And that's just filling cold water from our tank at the back of the van, so that's just the fresh tank. So we use that to fill up this, and then we'll heat this up to shower temperature. So yeah, might as well fill it to the top, 18 litres, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Right, there we go. So at the moment it's 17.2 degrees, and the air temperature is 21.1, so we just need to turn on the diesel heater to heat that up. And now we can use our convenient switch panel to do it as well. So we'll just turn that on. Right, that's the max, so that should take about 12 minutes or so, 12-15 minutes to heat up the water. It's getting quite exciting. Do you think it's going to work?
Yeah, have faith.
It should work. So the diesel heater is ramping up now, and the hot air is going through a heat exchanger under here, and that's heating up the water. And then the cooler air, much cooler once it's had most of the energy taken out, is coming out into the shower. So yeah, that'll also keep the shower nice and warm, act as our nice drying room. Should probably also check that this is set to the right thing. So what we've got there, 70 degrees. Okay, that's quite hot. So we'll turn that one down. What do you reckon, 40 degrees?
Yep.
And you can hear the little bobble pump that started circulating now, so all the water is circulating and heating up. Okay, there we go, so 40 degrees and the bobble kit's turned off, so now I can turn the diesel heater down so it's not so noisy. So yeah, let's just put that down to like a medium power and turn on the hot. Obviously won't do anything yet. So yeah, we've got our hot and cold taps here, and we deliberately didn't go for a mixer tap because obviously our water is not on demand, so can't really mix it with the cold. In our system we've just got the hot tank we heat up, and then we get the preset temperature coming out the hot tap. So yeah, we can just turn this one on, hopefully still work. There we go. So that's normal shower. I haven't used it for a couple of days while we've been building it, so just get the air out system. Okay, and yeah, that's nice and hot. So let's turn that off. Right, you can see already from that we're down to 16.5 litres, which is, yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why we thought recirculating the shower would be really nice, because you just use water so quickly otherwise.
Yeah.
Right, so how do we do this? Right, so what we need to do is turn on the shower again, and then we can use our little switch here to turn on the recirculating loop. Turn on the shower light as well. There we go. Waited a long time for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wait for it to get to 16 litres. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, recirculating pump is on. I can hear it. Oh, water is coming up. That's great.
Okay,
It's going into the spin down.
Oh, good.
So the UV lamp is on. So what do we got coming in here?
Oh, yeah, it's filling up.
Oh, nice.
Isn't it?
That is awesome. So that's one filter.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it going to the next one?
Should do. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
It's like a science experiment. Right, and there is no leaks coming out. So that's
Okay, good.
So it hasn't gone through the UV light yet, obviously.
Just going to go into the...
Obviously, the one interesting thing is how much water it takes in the loop, so hopefully we have enough when it goes back. So that's that one full, that's going to come down here. Should be going through there.
How do
Can't
we
really see
know?
anything. Don't know. Right, is it coming through the tank yet? Oh, it's coming out!
Is it?
Amazing! There we go, it's coming back
wow.
through. And we're on, it was about 11 litres, so that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
So only about 5 litres were used in the entire loop.
Nice.
Awesome, and it's not actually too loud. I thought it might be louder than that.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Ooh, okay.
I think it's working.
Is it?
Oh, there is a tiny bit of water here,
Okay.
so possibly one of these connections. Might need to just tighten up this one maybe.
Okay.
It's very cool.
It's weird that it's just not going down.
Yeah.
The temperature is
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
40 degrees still.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Because the other interesting thing is we weren't sure, obviously we're doing this, it's very much an experiment with this one, but we weren't sure how much temperature we were going to lose going around the loop, so we tried to keep the bit under the van as short as possible and insulate the pipes, so actually looks pretty good because we started on 40 and it's still
yeah.
39, so
I guess we just need to check underneath the van as well. The water level in the tank is going down just a little bit. It's now under 10.
okay. So it'll be interesting to see if we've got a few drips under the van.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll just turn it off. And these pumps we're using can run dry, so we don't have to worry about that. Even if there's essentially no water in there in the drain, you'll just hear it'll just get a bit more gurgly.
It's coming out of the filters there.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's actually pushing the water back through.
I guess so.
Nice. Didn't actually think it would do that. It's like self-emptying. So turn that off. So I think the first test is success so far. What do you reckon?
Not too bad. Yeah.
Not too bad. So yeah, let's check under the van and see what's doing there.
Okay. So the shower is on first, but not recirculating. Okay, so it's dripping quite a lot out of the shower drain. You can hear the ball valve going there, and you can actually just see the water just going up the pipe. It's there. So it's dripping quite a lot out of the shower drain, Tim.
Right.
So yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
probably
okay.
where we're losing some water.
Alright, that's actually the best place it could have been probably.
Yeah.
I mean that's literally just this flexible tube straight onto the drain, so
Right. Should we sort that out and then
yeah.
try it again?
Okay. Let's do it.
It's just turning off the recirculating part. So yeah, we can just start to see water coming down this tube into the tank, and I can actually hear it bubbling next to my head going into the tank, so that's good. Alright. Nice. Might get covered in water.
Yeah, at least it's all just clean,
Yeah.
fresh water, so... Okay, not too much in there. Yeah, it's this join here, so... Yeah, because we've got no rubber washer or anything there, so that's probably why.
Oh right.
So
Must
have we got...
overlooked
in a like bag of assorted plumbing bits. What can we do about this? Right, so I found a black washer which perfectly fits on here, so probably that was supposed to be in that one.
Maybe.
We've had so many plumbing bits, you get a bit confused after a while, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that looks better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go and turn on the shower again and just see if there's any leaks coming out of that one.
Okay. Looks pretty good.
How's it looking now?
Much better.
Okay, well, that was easy.
Right.
And where's the other leak you saw? There.
A few places now.
Alright, turn it off again. I was just thinking there's something slightly unnerving about going into the van. The shower's just on by itself. Let's just give everything a little nip up. Yeah, there. It can definitely be tightened a bit more. Right, so we've been playing around with it a little bit and we think we've sorted out all of the leaks we had. So we've tightened up a few things under the van and put a couple more washers in, and then just the spin down filter here, we just needed to tighten up that brass connection for the John Guest pipe. So now it all looks good. So what we're going to do is do a test and just leave it running for a while, a long run test. So we'll just set it all up and then just leave it endlessly showering for like 10 minutes or so and see what happens. So the water is currently 39.3 degrees and we've got 14 litres in the tank. So we'll turn this on and then turn this on and start this. And we've got the diesel heater on the lowest speed now, so it'll be interesting to see if it keeps up. And it'll probably obviously depend on the climate we're in as well. So if we're in somewhere that's really cold, like we go up to Norway in the winter or something, maybe we need to have the diesel heater running a bit more. Maybe we need to wrap a bit of insulation around the pipe under the van a bit more. So
Takes a bit of experimentation, doesn't it?
bit of tweaking.
Yeah.
Considering how much work has gone into this project has been the one that we've been probably thinking about one of the longest. We knew right at the beginning that we wanted to build a recirculating shower. It's like the last one to be sort of finished because there's obviously quite a lot of pieces involved, a lot to get your head around. But yeah, I think it's going to pay off.
I hope so.
Yeah, early signs are definitely good. This means that if you come around here, so we've been doing quite a lot of tests and we've got our grey tank is still basically empty. So even though the shower is using all that water, it's just the same water going around again, so it's brilliant. Right, so that's basically been running for 10 minutes now and it's all looking pretty good. We haven't seen any drips or leaks anywhere. And the water temperature has dropped a few degrees, so that's not too bad. We might have to experiment with just turning the diesel heater up a bit. And the water, once it filled the filters up again, has been pretty consistent at 12.5 litres, so we're not losing any water in the loop, which is also good because it means that there's everything's just going back round.
Nothing's leaking.
Yeah, so this water here must be some of the cleanest water around at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just been endlessly filtered from already clean. So the complete loop starts in our tank obviously, and then it goes out the pipe here, down under our kitchen cabinet where the hot pump is, and then it comes back around, up the hot tap pipe there, and then obviously through the tap, through the shower, and then down into the drain.
And it comes out the drain and into this flexible tube here, carries on round the corner, through this little filter here, and then along here to the ball valve which stops it from going to the tank, and it goes back up into the van through this insulated tube.
Okay, so we have now been running the shower endlessly for 20 minutes, just over. Still going, which is working really good. And what is really cool is that we've actually managed to gain the temperature back up to 40 degrees. And that's with the diesel heater on 2.6 hertz, so it's on like about half power, which is awesome. We shut the shower door because we thought that might help keep the heat in a bit, and it seems to be working actually because it's quite nice and warm in there. And it's still quite cool out here because all the water vapour is being taken out by the max fan there. So yeah, you can see now it's at the top end and it's just sort of cycling it gets up to 40 degrees and then switches off. Then it goes down again slowly, and then as soon as it gets to, I think I said it, 39.9, it just starts the little mini pump in there, and you can see that happening now, so that's going back up again. So at the moment, it is just maintaining its 40-degree temperature. Yeah. 20-minute van shower.
I really want a shower now.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I've already had one this morning, but I want another one.
The other cool thing is, because it's pretty decent day today, like sun-wise, I can see that even with all of this running, we're actually still charging. We're actually gaining 2 amps of charge current.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. I think we can turn it off now.
Yeah.
Turn this down a bit.
I would say that that is a success. So for the recirculating switch, we've just got one of these little waterproof covers, just to avoid it getting wet. So that just slots on there and just screws on. Like that. And then yeah, so when we come to use our shower, say for example we've been for a walk or something, we're not feeling particularly clean, we can go in and have our shower, and we'll have the recirculating switch off for the time being. And then I'll turn on the shower, close my door, like this. I'll just run it normally, and then we can shower and get rid of any dirt and stuff like that that we don't want to go into the recirculating system. And then once we want a nice long shower just to enjoy, then we can just reach around and just turn this on. And that's why we put that little rubber cover on there, just so we don't get it wet. So yeah, now it's recirculating and just have a nice long shower. Nice.
Did you notice any difference in the pressure when it switched from one mode to the other?
No, nothing. It's really nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We figured doing it like this with the switch means that we can extend the life of the filters and everything, because hopefully we'll only really be recirculating water that's actually not even that dirty. So yeah, see how it goes in practice obviously.
Yeah, and then once we're finished, just reach around and turn it off again. It's done.
Brilliant.
And what's nice is that the drainage is actually really quick. And we are parked slightly to the right just to help it a little bit. But yeah, it's just already gone, which is pretty good.
Maybe it helps that there's a pump there kind of sucking it out.
Yeah, I think so.
We were sort of putting off doing this project for a while. We've been carrying around all of the tools and things we needed for it, because we're a little bit nervous, I suppose, about doing this one.
Yeah.
But it's actually worked out really good.
Yeah, and we were expecting maybe a few niggles after we actually put it in, didn't we? But apart from those few leaks, I don't think anything's really gone wrong. But
yeah, it's been good.
We'll have to see how it goes further down the line, and
see how well the filters are coping and stuff like that. But yeah, that will all come up after we've been travelling around a bit more. So
yeah,
I guess that's actually all of the recirculating shower done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you in the next video.
See you then.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Give us a like and subscribe below if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.